Hi Leo, welcome to your Mars in Leo reading. So Young Thug is free. A very symbolic moment for all Leos. Sure, you can look back on the past at least 3 months, but for some, that backwards reflection is far back. Years, maybe. You can look back on a time where you find it really easy to ask yourself, what the hell was I doing? And even if the answer to that question is crazy shit, I was doing crazy shit. I was wild. I was untamed at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? The Sagittarian card and Mercury and Venus and Sagittarius Mercury and Venus and Sagittarius, and soon to be Sagittarius season, says you were learning. You were learning. So don't judge yourself for a period where you needed to grow up. We weren't taught how to learn through life experience. We were taught how to learn in a classroom. And you're fortunate and lucky if your parents guide you, are there to guide you through those life experience lessons, which we know is not always the case. Either way, the universe is your forever parent and will guide you through those life altering experiences, and they will teach you and make sure that you learn what you are supposed to from your deepest, darkest failures, missteps. And it's beautiful. And like I said, Young Thug getting the opportunity to come home, regardless of what happened, right? It's an opportunity that he's being given. It's an opportunity that Leos are being given to show the universe and themselves that they've grown. They're humbled by the world. And they're grateful for the chance to be alive, to be free in whatever capacity. And Leos are taking that freedom and that lucky energy flowing in now that Mars enters Leo tonight on November 3rd. Leos are taking this lucky energy and they are flying high above the noise, high above what has been. And right now, no, it's not about money. And that's a beautiful thing, because many times the money is the focus, right, for most people. And you don't get to have that free-spirited Sagittarius moment where you're literally just content, just living and experiencing. And Mars and Leo puts you in that exact place. And then somehow when you find yourself just living and content and happy and flowing, the money finds you clearly. It comes to you. It's actually been there. It's just been waiting on you to look at it in the right way, or to go to the mailbox, or to open that piece of mail, or to talk to that person who's been right in front of you the whole time. Whatever the situation is, the good vibes, the gratitude is leading you to the financial opportunity. Even though you're not chasing it, you're not running after it. You've learned not even about the money. Your energy is just so focused away from finances at this time, just within this one day of energy shifting, right? Mars entering Leo. Everything feels so good that it's like, why would I stress myself out about my financial situation or about the desire to make more money? Why? That's not even the priority of the moment. Paisley. And again, yet when you don't make it the priority, the money finds you. It's great. It's perfect. It's amazing. And even though the money is here and it's coming in, your focus should still be here with this good energy and with this good vibe, because what you'll find when you hold space for this good energy and you prioritize the good energy over chasing the finances, you'll sort through what within this energy needs to be sustained long term and what it will take to sustain it long term, and that will show you what money you really need versus just this general pursuit of more income, right? And that clarity around the finances, around what's needed, around what's wanted, will come. But give it time. For now, receive what's here, soak in what's here, hold on to what's here, and reset your life with what you have now. It's the perfect time to change your life by changing the way that you think. It's the perfect time to call in the exact experience that you want, that you feel is opening up to you now, which has very little to do with money, actually. The money is a byproduct. This is about who you are, who you believe you are at the root. So, if we're gonna get into Saturn ending its retrograde in your eighth house, the eighth house card, we're gonna get into that. But Mars in Leo is such a big reset for you, and I want you to enjoy it. This is a moment when you're allowed to be self-centered because you need to focus on yourself. Your energy has been pulled in so many different directions by your choosing, by the choosing of others, by your circumstances, and you are someone who genuinely needs a wealthy investment in self daily, and you haven't been able to give yourself that for a while now. And it sucks that you haven't felt as great about yourself as you need to feel in order to be out in the world. And so this moment is so important because it's time to be back out in the world, and you finally have the energy and the circumstances that allow you to pour into yourself at the level at which you genuinely require. And then when you get into that space, which again, some of you guys day one are already getting in that space, that generous part of you that just wants to give and wants to help and wants to, you know, be good energy. It's so easy to do that, right? But you've been having this expectation of people, because even when you haven't been at your best and you feel it within yourself, people are still looking at you like the king of the jungle. And so they're pulling on the king of the jungle when the king of the jungle's been injured. You've been injured, you've been hurt, you've been exhausted, undergoing surgery, whatever you've been going through. And yet the tribe, the pride has been pulling on you, and you finally have your strength back. You finally know how to say, I love you, but take 10 steps back. Who's gonna say no to that? Because they know what you're worth. They know what you bring to their life. They were only waiting on you to set the right boundaries and to put yourself first. I love it. I love it. And then, now that you're putting yourself first, it's, yeah, now maybe there does need to be a consolidated way of how you're going to give and pour out and, have the lifestyle that you want, because you know that some of you guys are shifting into a space where you want philanthropy to be a bigger part of your life, and it's beautiful, but it's important that you do it in a way that is sustainable. You want more fun and big vibes in your life, but you've got to do it in a way that's sustainable. You want more romance, maybe you want, some of you guys do want that full on commitment, and some of you just want romance, and whichever, right, romance without the attachment, whichever lane you find yourself in right now, it needs to be done in a way that is sustainable. And that's what this transit is going to help you first figure out. What are those wants? What are those desires? And then you'll get the chance to make them concrete and long-term based off of how it really should work. What is your life and your lifestyle moving forward now that you've overcome the worst of it? Good job. So let's talk about Venus entering Capricorn on November 11th, because just really quickly, Venus will move out of your 5th house and into your 6th house. I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy. I want you to shine. But starting on the 11th, which is already about a week away, you've got eyes on you and you have a lot of work to do. So enjoy this moment. Take some time to soak in the goodness, but know that there's a shift that will require more from you, more focus, more better work, better quality work. And so prepare yourself now for that energy, and take better care of your health. Sleep earlier, eat a little bit healthier, a little bit better. Pray more. Start taking care of yourself now, not just to be out in the world, but to be truly healthy inside and out. Because when this increased work comes in, your health is the first thing that's going to start to take a toll, whether it's physical or mental health. So keep that in mind when Venus enters Capricorn on November 11th. Now let's talk about Saturn retrograde wrapping up in Pisces on November 15th. Saturn will go direct in Pisces in your 8th house. Here's the 8th house represented here, the Scorpio card. you have clarity about the long-term emotional commitments that you either should or should not be making. So this goes back to that energy of either we're just fucking or we are getting married. It's one of those two lanes, there's no in between. And again, no one is right or wrong as long as everybody's aware of what's going on. But that's how you are anyway. But because of this retrograde in Saturn and being in your house of genuinely being emotionally dependent, you know, this 8th house energy here, you've been extremely emotional dependent. And, you know, with those emotional needs, it's come at a cost of selecting people who may not be the right match for either of those dynamics, right? It's not even just someone who's ready for the long term. You don't always have to be a long term commitment. You could just want to have fun, but choosing the right people to have fun with, right? Creating a healthy dynamic where we can enjoy and keep it moving. It's been really complicated to pick those people, and people have been complicated as well. They've been scoping out your weaknesses and they've been playing on that weakness, and it's been difficult emotionally to navigate, or the other way around, right? Either way, now that Saturn retrograde is complete, one, Mars in Leo gives you so much strength, so much self-adornment, that this dependency that you've had for a long time to be loved by someone, to feel affection from someone, is almost completely eradicated. It's like you are your own best lover, you know, that cheesy saying. Like, that is Mars and Leo is like, I have too much to do for me. I almost don't even see anybody else. Why would I even? So, right, not in a mean way, but just genuinely, I need a lot. I have so much to give to myself. Very self-centered energy. But why not? Why do I need to give all my energy away to this person and that person? You don't have to do that. It's okay that that's how you feel. And don't allow anybody to make you feel bad about feeling that way. But also, it's very easy to see right now that because you have so much to give to yourself and are actively giving it to yourself, again, this energy has come in immediately. This puts a ton of pressure on anyone who's in your life right now who you are committed to long term or committed to in some capacity. This puts an immense amount of pressure on this person to, one, be good energy, genuinely be happy and content within themselves at the minimum, because otherwise they literally can't meet you where you are. So that's the first step. So if they're deeply unhappy, it creates a lot of chaos within your connections. And because you've been so emotionally dependent and Mars has been in your 12th house, you've just had to get through it. You know what I mean? Now that Mars is in your sign and Saturn is going direct, you're cutting these cords. For some of you, that does mean breakups, but for others, it really just means the people in your life have to get themselves together. They have to get themselves together. And, you know, there's a lot that needs to be done on their end and on your end, but you can always handle that. But the amount at which they've been leaning on you, depending on you, has been too much, and can be no longer. It's very fair. Libra energy is very fair. People have to now take responsibility for their own lives, their own decisions, as do you, and that's just what it is. Nobody can now use your sexuality, your vulnerability to wrap you into their mess, their inadequacies, their responsibilities. It doesn't work anymore. On top of that, if you're single, it looks really good actually, because Mars is in Leo. As I said, the people around you and the people that you've been attracting have been inadequate, and you've compensated for that. And it's been really bad for you. And it's been really bad for them, because in some way or another, that's going to come to light. And unfortunately for them, and partly for you, but for them, Mars in Leo is so loud. It's such a big shift for you. And for them as well, if they can sustain and find this contentedness within themselves, which doesn't come naturally to everybody, but if they can find it, the Ten of Swords is easy to, to get through right now for everyone. This is like rain, right? Whereas Mars in Cancer has been tornadoes every other day. In the Midwest. You know what I mean? Tsunamis. Mars in Leo is like rain during the summer. Sometimes, maybe. Right? So everyone's got this added strength. But for you now, this added strength makes you extremely independent. This is Mars energy, the planet that rules the sign that is about self, the first sign of the zodiac, almost like the birth of self, right? So your focus on yourself has returned, and it makes you very bright. It makes you very happy, and it helps you work through everything that has been. And again, it puts a lot of pressure on anybody who wants to be with you. It puts pressure on anyone who you are with to understand that you don't not like them. You just are finally feeling good about you, and you're still here for them, but like, don't play me. Don't try me right now. Really don't try me. Just do what you need to do. And if you can't wine and dine me the way that you know, the way that I'm looking right now and the way that I'm moving, this is what I deserve. If you can't do it, please take a step back and focus on yourself, because you don't want the war of this energy. It is brutal. It is Mars. It is ready for war at the drop of a dime, but it doesn't want to. Aries are very sweet. They try to be sweet and humble, but when you pull them into that war, they will destroy you. Lovers, partners, friends, whatever, they understand this energy, and and if they don't, they're gonna learn really quickly, because you're justified in your needs right now. And if anybody cannot match these expectations, and the fact that, again, you're focused on yourself, and that is just what it is, and you've deserved this self-focus. If they can't handle that, they will suffer. And so it does make it super important that you be very careful with people that you pull into your sphere at this time, because you don't want things to end up this way, and it's very easy for them to, especially people underestimating you, and they thought that who you were yesterday is who you're going to be today, and that's just not the case at all. You have changed. You are back, and you see everything that you should have had that you haven't been getting. And I want to say you're mad about it, and you might still be mad about it, but right now you're really just focused on getting it. That's just what it is. And anyone who has any energy to give that is not progressively building that lifestyle can kick rocks at this point. Don't talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that intense because you realize how much time and energy you've wasted on people who've been playing games and who just needed you, you know? So, as I was saying, for those of you who are single, or for those of you who felt like things have been very unfair within a relational dynamic, things start to get very fair. As Saturn goes direct, things get very, very fair. And it's because you deserve someone who wows you and impresses you and who's genuinely the right person for you. And if that means they have to take a step back and go back to the drawing board within themselves because overnight you've reinvented yourself without doing a thing at all, you just literally are back and better. And they're like, oh shit, what just happened? Well, the sun rose. It was nighttime. Now it's daytime. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. If they have to go back to the drawing board to figure out how to meet you where they're at, good, let them do that. It is not your job to help them do that. If anything, it wastes your time, it wastes your energy, and it doesn't move them any further along. They understand. They can take a look at you and see what you're deserving of. But then they have to make that conscious choice to either give you what you're deserving of or not. And if you want to, baby them into giving you what you want, you're actually subconsciously telling them that you don't deserve what you want. Because they know what you want and they know what you need. Let them find you. Your speed and independence now is a gift, and only the right love, friends, whatever, can keep up and will meet you, because the truth of the matter is there are some people who have been in your life who have been using you, have been manipulating you, especially with the Saturn retrograde in Pisces. This is very dark energy, very evil energy. People who were so-called your friends, but really they were just, working this connection, right? Make them pay for that by focusing completely on yourself and let them sort themselves out. You're fixed. So the funny thing is you're still there. You're not going nowhere. You are the king of the jungle. You rule this land, right? You're not going nowhere. But let them sort themselves out and see what they have done, and that you don't have to say a word, but you know exactly what they were doing. Let them sort themselves out. Let them deal with their own emotions and their own decisions. Let them. Let them figure out how to meet you where you are at now. Let them. Let them feel the pain of you no longer being there to take care of them because they abused you when you were. Let them. Took you for granted, whatever it was, because they could see that your blind spots were showing and you had no idea how dark they were. And now all they see is darkness and your shine, and it's striking, it's shocking. Let them deal, and you focus on the opportunity, and you focus on healing yourself from what you've been through. Some of you need to go into therapy, you need to go on a retreat, you need to pray more, because you have a lot that is now being tucked away so that you can move very quickly, but that doesn't mean that those bumps and bruises are erased from your subconscious mind. They're not. They're very much still there, and they can pop up at any given moment and pull you back into that space, push you into a relationship that is not worthy of you because you haven't healed these spaces within yourself.